Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, welcome to the YouTube channel of Petroleum from Scratch. I am JStar, and this is our Streamlit app course. In our previous video, we have built these slider buttons for taking the inputs of permeability, viscosity, and flow rate. Now we have to take inputs in term of numbers, just like these, the one that we are having in our final input. So, how to add these particular buttons in our sidebar, we are going to see. So again, going on to our documentation part, I'm going to use this st.number input for this particular scenario. Here again, you can see inside this number input function, we can provide the label of the button, basically name of the button, minimum value, maximum value, default value. These we can provide. Step size we can also provide, but we are not going to use all these further things. We are just going to use these particular things only. So yeah, let's do this. Let's copy this up. Let's open our code. So after flow rate, our next inputs for making the pressure profile will be our outer radius of reservoir, wellbore radius, pressure at the boundary of reservoir, PE, that we generally say, formation volume factor we are going to take, net pay thick zone we are going to take, right? So all these inputs we are going to take from the users, right? So let's start with the RE, or external radius, that will be equal to my st.number input. Let's name this particular button, outer radius of reservoir in feet, right? Again, here will be one minimum value, so that if a value goes above these values, it will throw, uh, it will tell the user that, okay, you need to lower the values. Maximum value, let's say 10,000. In default value, let's put as 3,000. Right now, let's again go to our page, rerun our cell, rerun our code, and it is throwing me an error. Let's see what error it is telling me. X value. Let's open up our code. What we have done wrong. Min value is right. Min value is right. Okay, let us take this inside. Sidebar number input, outer radius, minimum value, maximum value, and the value. Okay, here I haven't written value, that's why it was showing the error. Now, again, let's reload the page. And here you go, you can see this particular thing has arrived here. Earlier also I haven't put sidebar here. So if I remove that sidebar, it will come on my main page itself. Now if I rerun this, here you can see it will come on my main page. So in this way, you can design your buttons, and you can also make them go up and down by just changing the code, changing the order of the code, right? Because your Python executes code from top to bottom, right? So because my permeability one is above, that's why uh, the button for permeability was coming above. So we can change that particular thing also. Sidebar share, sidebar dot number input. In a similar way, I have to take inputs for my RW. Let's copy paste this one. RW is my wellbore radius. So that's right. Wellbore radius. Again, it will be in feet. Minimum value, let's put in 1. Maximum value, let's put as 10 feet. Default value, let's again put it as 1 only. RW is done. Now PE, my pressure at external boundary of reservoir. So let's put value for this PE also. Will be in PSI, right? So pressure at the boundary of reservoir, external pressure, you can say minimum value 100 psi, maximum value 10,000 psi, default value 4,000 psi. right? Now our next input will be B, that will be our formation volume factor. So let's put that particular thing also. Formation volume factor variable STB, minimum value 1, maximum 2, default value again we are taking as 1. Now next thing will be our H, that is our net pay thickness of reservoir, thickness, pay zone thickness basically. So again, I am mentioning 2 as minimum value, 2 feet, maximum value 500 feet, default value 30 feet. So now let's go to our page again and rerun our code. Let's see. Here you can see the button has arrived, and you can also put the values, whatever values you want, and after that just press enter. So these values will be stored on the variables that we have defined in our code here, right? R, K, mu, Q, RE, RWP, and all these variables. Now, by using these values, we need to calculate the pressures at each radius point, starting from my RW going till RE. Again, the whole concept we have discussed in one of our videos itself, that is again uploaded in our YouTube channel. So I'm not going to discuss the concept again. I'm just going to use the formula directly and calculate my pressure at each radius point starting from RE till RW. That is nothing but your backend calculation. And by using that, I'm going to plot. I'm to build a plot here. So let's first of all calculate these pressures at each radius points, right? So let me first of all make an array of my different radius point by using numpy's linspace function. It will be starting from RE. It will be starting from RW. My wellbore radius go till RE, and I want total 500 points between them. So I have written 500. Now let's calculate a pressure array by using this radius array. So that will be by using my default steady state flow regime equation. That will be my PE minus 141.2 Q mu B divided by NP log NP not divided by log RE by RW K and H. Right. So let me write that particular formula here for calculating my pressure. So in this way, my radius and pressure arrays has been generated. Now I just need to plot them, right? And also I will be adding one more line in that plot that will be my minimum pressure line, or you can say pressure at my wellbore, right? So I will add that particular line also by using defining one more variable y mean, that will be equal to my pressure point where my radius, where my R is equal to RW. So from this, it will get that pressure point where my radius is wellbore radius, at wellbore radius, right? And at that particular situation, my pressure will be the minimum pressure, or you can say pressure at wellbore, right? So that particular thing, I will be plotting a horizontal line there so that we can see in our R versus P plot, right? So till now, we have done this particular thing. And also, let's add a button for showing the pressure profile, because if you go till here, if you go on the page, all these things are set, right? But there is no button here for showing the plot. So let's add that button also. So for adding the buttons, again, if I show you here in the widgets itself, we are going to use this particular button here, this button command st.button. Again, we will be give a name to this particular button, and this button values will be stored in terms of booleans, that if somebody is hitting that particular button, so that the variable assigned to that button will turn into true, right? So what does this mean? Let's see. First of all, let's add a button named by B by just writing st.button, because I want my button on my main screen. Show pressure profile, right? So this thing is done. Now let's again go to our screen here. So you will see this button has arrived. Now what I have told, when I am going to press this button, the B value that I have assigned there will turn into true. And once it is true, after that we can write logic, whatever logic we want, whatever operations we want to perform when that particular button is pressed. So we are just making my boolean into true, and that particular logic will go on inside a if loop. So plotting thing, adding the plot, we are going to see in our next video. So till then, uh, just write this particular code and practice. In the next video, or in our final video, we are going to add the plot, and then we will see how our complete application will look like. Until then, thank you. Bye bye. Take care.